Just a quick disclaimer, in this video I will try to be unbiased. However, keep in mind that I still want to explain my perspective on this matter. I would talk about this incident from the perspective of myself, a person of ethnic Chinese descent who also shares various traditional Chinese customs and beliefs. This doesn't mean I support cover or hololive, nor does it mean that I'm in favor of the way the international community is reacting to this. I genuinely hope that you guys from both sides can play nice and stop attacking each other in the comments. Guys, it's time to have a friendly yet civil discussion. I know how much we all like to point fingers at each other, saying how unreasonable and despicable the other side is. However, personally, I've seen tons of people from both sides just being extremely toxic. So please, everybody please stop that and be civil about it. With that out of the way, I'm also going to announce that I'm not uploading the Mandarin version of this video to Bilibili, because the nature of this video doesn't really seem good for that platform. So if you are one of my Mandarin speaking viewers, wait till the end of this video where I will also talk about some other things. Right now, everybody watching hopefully already knew what happened. If you don't, here's a quick recap. During a livestream, Akai Hato and Kiryu Koko reviewed the general locations of their YouTube subscribers and followers, in which Taiwan was mentioned separate from China, which sparked outrage among certain Chinese viewers. In response, Hololive had issued a 3-week suspension to both VTubers and sparked outrage among many Western viewers. Now, why are some Chinese viewers making this such a big deal, you might ask? As analytics show that a good chunk of my viewers are from the West and don't understand why some of them feel this way. This is quite a bit of history to go into, so let's go all the way back to the early 1900s. Those of you who already knew the history, I'll put a timestamp on the screen now so you can skip to the next part. During the warlord era, China was split up and different regions were controlled by different parties. And during this time, the Kuomintang, aka the Nationalist Party, began to push their forces north to try to reunify China. However, the general public started to side more towards communism. In this time, the KMT was also trying to purge communist activity, and they tried to control and end communist activities by arresting and sentencing major communist leaders, which resulted in a large outcry from the communists and the people. In order to fight against the KMT from this, the communists then started to fight back, which resulted in a long and painful civil war that tore China apart, with the end result being that the CCP controls all of China and the KMT controls Taiwan. You might say that it's all history and should not have anything to do with what's happening now. However, in practice, this isn't the case. Due to the fact that China was not reunified, and China is now split between two governing parties that were at war with each other, there's still a lot of bureaucratic red tape left over that still affects both sides to this day. For example, even though Taiwan operates just like a real country, with real permanent citizens, its own army, a functioning government, airports, and trade routes with the world, Taiwan is still not a member of the United Nations, and their official name is Republic China, which still has constitutional claims of the entire Chinese territory. Similarly, China constitutionally claims Taiwan as part of its territory as well. This is a big political issue because everybody around the globe can't just recognize both Chinas as China. That is why in Taiwan there is a large growth of an independence movement to legitimize themselves as a separate country from China, which will allow Taiwan to join the United Nations, set up embassies, and participate in the Olympics as Taiwan. The reason why mainland Chinese people really dislike this is because Chinese citizens view Taiwan as a region of China that is operated by a different government. And to become independent would be the same as to be tearing China apart. Because China had been torn apart and reunified in the thousands of years of history, the Chinese citizens feel that the CCP should do everything in its power to ensure that it doesn't happen again. Thus, they sometimes see those who seek Taiwanese independence as separatists, which cause a lot of genuine hatred towards the CCP in Taiwan as well. In Taiwan, the general consensus is that reunification will result in a change in way of life, and Taiwan would end up becoming more like China, which Taiwanese people are afraid would take away their Taiwanese culture, liberal ideologies, and political freedom. However, complete independence is faced with strong objection from the CCP, which is why Taiwan exists in this limbo even today. Now, what has that got to do with Akai Hato and Kiryu Koko? The reason why I talk about all that is because we need to get to the origin point of where this whole thing started, and that is when they mentioned Taiwan and why some of the Chinese viewers got upset. With that understanding, we can now move forward and interpret that by with these VTubers mentioning Taiwan separately. Some Chinese viewers assume that they are acknowledging to what they view as a separatist movement. However, in reality, both VTubers are most likely clueless as to the amount of controversy behind mentioning this, as they are simply stating and quoting statistics provided by YouTube themselves. In other words, I believe that it can't be VTubers' fault, no matter if you believe that Taiwan should be independent or if you believe in the One China policy. How can people be responsible for things that is out of their general knowledge? In fact, I believe that without me talking about the history of the Chinese Civil War, most viewers who are watching this video wouldn't know too much about everything too. That's why, for those that attack these VTubers for whatever reason, I feel disgusted and angry. They're putting the blame onto two innocent people, and I really hope that they realize this and stop doing that. But, as you know, this isn't even the whole story. There are many people in the West who are angry that Cover and Hololive were apparently being CCP shills, who banned the two VTubers for 3 weeks, and issued an apology statement on Bilibili, who mentioned support for the One China policy. Personally, I don't think this is that much of a bad move at all. Before you write your angry comments and say how much of a shill I am, let me explain. Hololive is massively popular as of the moment in all regions such as Japan, China, and in the West as well. If there's one thing Cover can do to ensure after what happened everybody including Hololive CN, Akai Hato, and Kiryu Koko can continue to operate in all regions is an apology and this. Is it worth losing China by doing nothing and ignoring all the angry Chinese netizens? Not really. China actually have an insanely big Hololive following on Bilibili, and is one of the Cover's largest source of viewership. Plus that personally some of the best Hololive memes I've seen so far comes from China. Chinese fans are truly passionate about supporting the VTubers and doing everything they can. If I were to be in China and Hololive gets taken from me, I would be really upset. At the end, I think that no matter if Cover's statements align with your own personal agenda, I believe that Cover made the best decision to ensure viewers everywhere can continue to enjoy Hololive and have the means to support it. Next up, let's talk about Hololive moments. After they privated all their videos, they posted what I feel is an overwhelmingly and unnecessarily one-sided reaction, with very obvious politics tied to it. I understand that most Chinese people can feel pretty insulted by what the VTuber said. However, I feel this reactionary post made it way too dramatic than it actually is. If you're a translator and you no longer feel comfortable with what some VTubers said and wish to stop translating for them, just leave the community and tell us that you're uncomfortable. Instead, Hololive Moment choose to bring in politics and specifically state in their statement Chinese Taipei, which is usually frequently an alternative term to refer to Taiwan as part of China. Is Taiwan part of China? This is a complex question with multiple answers. Depends on if you look at it constitutionally, in practice, or depending on your political view. Most of the times, people within China refer to Taiwan as a province, and most foreigners look at Taiwan more like its own country. When I mention Taiwan in this video, I try to avoid terms either confirming or denying Taiwan's sovereignty, because most world leaders does not officially acknowledge Taiwan as a country. Not even the United States, a country that have been selling military equipment and weapons to Taiwan, officially acknowledge Taiwan as a country. In fact, not even people within China use the term Chinese Taipei in their day-to-day conversations. Do they really need to go to such great lengths to show us how much they support the One China policy? Hololive Moments made the stand saying that since there are so many Chinese supporters of Hololive, including translators and content creators etc., Hololive should take into consideration and respect of the Chinese people. Personally, this is another one of those parts where they lost me. Although it is true that China is where one of the biggest Hololive fan bases are at, Hololive is still operating with an international audience, and I heavily doubt that there should be a need for these VTubers to specifically cater to the feelings of Chinese people in their broadcasts. Many VTubers on the Hololive had said offensive things that specifically offend people from other countries too. Most of the times, people just move on from it. No matter what Hololive moments say, I feel that to be offended to the point that they believe that they do not want to support cover or Hololive anymore is honestly a bit disturbing. However, if Hololive makes you uncomfortable to the point that you just want to leave the community, just do it without drama instead. Don't cry about it. Don't put on a drama queen act and delete the contents of your channel. Don't act like a dying swan about it. Remember that it's just a bloody virtual idol group. The moment that you do such a thing will be the moment that you've lost. You know damn well that other people don't really care. So as a Hololive fan, what can you do? To be honest, the best way we can get through this together is to show our support to the VTubers. If you're mentioning about all these things in their streams, stop it. They do not want anything to do with the politics and stop trying to make them. When Akai Hato and Kiryu Koko finally returns, give them a big welcome back and show them your support with Super Chat. Only this way we're putting the focus on the VTubers which needed us the most in these trying times. Alright, thanks everybody for watching. This really is not the kind of video I like to make, and I feel like I'm committing YouTube career suicide for making this. But at the end of the day, some things had to be said. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you let me know in the comments. And please, there is really no need to make any hate speech either to China or to any other parties. I just want to watch VTubers, and I'm sure many people are the same regardless of where they're from. For my English speaking viewers, see you next time. As for my Mandarin speaking viewers, let's talk about this whole incident. 首先，大家好，我先自我介绍一下，我是 Philbert， 我是一名新加坡人。为什么我会想要做这一期的影片呢？其实是真的是非常简单的啦。作为一名华裔，其实后来这次的事件也不是我看到两边纠纷的第一次啦。大家都知道这几年来两边的关系其实非常的差哈。然后大家也喜欢矛头互相指来指去。当然你们也可以讲啊，你是个新加坡人，怎么会懂我们纠纷到底在讲些什么？给你4个字：旁观者清。所以我今天就作为一个旁观者来讲述一下我个人的看法，希望大家能够听一下，觉得有没有道理。首先就先讲赤井星和童真可可所谓的发生事件啊。第一点是这件事好像根本是和他们两个人无关的嘛，这个是 YouTube 直接提取出来的数据不是他们本人尊重还是不尊重主权什么的，根本没有关联啊。而且中国大陆的网友们也不是我想要黑你们但是你们每次很喜欢搞得好像因为你们人多，所以所有 VTuber 什么讲话都要小心，不能够触犯到你们。为什么明明是国际世界各地都有粉丝，触犯到巴西人没有问题，触犯到美国人没有问题，就是不能触犯到中国人但是我还是相信绝大部分人是没有太大的不满啦。不过少数人你们跑去骚扰 VTuber 本人，还要把声优资料泄露出去，是不是有点过分？不过台湾的观众们，我也是想要讲一下啦。人家中国大陆那边从小教育和环境都和我们不一样，人家思想和你不一样，那很正常说不定如果你是出生在大陆那边，受那边教育，你也是和他们一样的想法大陆的网友们，你们也是如果你们是出生长大在台湾的话，搞不好你们可能自己也是希望台独还是什么的。我觉得洗脑还是思想教育什么，大家都不要觉得对面是傻瓜然后自己是对这种东西免疫还是什么，没有这种可能。如果你对对面做出攻击，对面就会觉得你是在威胁，或者是想要强制性的改变自己的生活方式所以不管是哪个台湾人在哔哩哔哩上面狂刷弹幕，还是哪个大陆网友跑去 Hololive 推特上面刷评论什么的，都可以停了吗？真的就为了一个 VTuber 搞得好像多大一件事情VTuber 能娶回家当老婆神经病而且偏偏要把领土纠纷和 VTuber 扯到一起不就是台湾分开统计观课整数据而已嘛？内地就算是坐飞机，你在飞机场看到去港澳台转机什么的，也是和国际航班放在一起的，不是和内地转机放在一起的就算你是支持一个中国原则还是什么，作为数据统计来说，台湾和大陆还是有很多文化和政治差异的，不适合放在同一个数据库的名字下使用。还是你对名字不满意，是不是？你敢跟我说你日常交流不是用台湾这2个字，而是用中华台北吗？况且就算是有不满，你也应该是对 YouTube 有不满才对吧？你对童声可可不满是什么原因？可可他是一个外国人， 他怎么可能对中国有这些争议有什么了解？不知者无罪，好吗？就算我现在是去 YouTube 截图一个数据统计，我这边也是台湾也是分开写的，所以这个你要怪也是怪 YouTube，不是怪可可。Hololive 就算全世界粉丝这么多，影响力也没有强到就靠几句话就能够威胁到主权还是什么的好吗？现在可可和赤井星最重要的是在回来的时候，我们给予他们最大的支持，多投点 Super Chat。特别是可可现在哔哩哔哩的活动全部停止了，那更加需要我们在 YouTube 上面的支持。如果你还是觉得可可说的某些话真是很难受啊什么的，那你就不要看下去，不要探讨就行了。所谓眼不见为净，耳不见为清，心不见为烦啊。想看就看，不想看就不要看。思想上想开一点啊，不要因为对面是和你思想不同就排斥人家啊。大陆人和台湾人能做朋友吗？当然了，我看到的是朋友的多的是，甚至还能一起聊各种包含政治的话题。我看法就是这样啊。如果你有什么不同的看法，你可以在下面评论。评论一般我全部都会读，不过如果你是想要没有理由的去讲一些没有营养的东西我建议你还是不要在我的评论区说。当然，我自己本身也是没有办法做到完全的中立。我认识的好友们都知道，实际上我对这两边的纠纷是什么样的态度。只不过我自己知道，我的想法并不代表别人的想法，我没有拿出来讲而已。因此，我觉得大家也应该互相尊重另一方的想法，没有必要因为和自己的想法不同就骂人更加不应该把自己信仰的东西强迫压给别人。如果你喜欢这一期影片的话，请点赞、评论、分享给好友们看，就这样啊。下一期我也不知道会发什么，不过订阅的话就是给我一个机会，说不定我可以做一些其他没有那么没营养的话题。好，就这样啊，拜拜。